Hashtag the janitor's song. Asterisk a gentle pause asterisk. Robert Mitchell had been cleaning offices for 23 years. His hands, weathered and strong, knew every corner of the Hartwell building downtown. Each night, after the lawyers and accountants went home, Robert would arrive with his cart, moving quietly through the halls like a guardian of empty spaces. Asterisk breathing room asterisk. He was 54 years old. A single father. His daughter Sarah was in her second year at community college, studying to be a nurse. Her mother had passed when Sarah was just 7, and Robert had raised her alone, working 2 jobs most of those years. The night shift paid a little more, and every extra dollar mattered. Asterisk a warm pause asterisk. Robert didn't talk much about his life before janitorial work. The other cleaning staff knew he was kind, reliable, always the first to help when someone needed to switch shifts for a family emergency. But they didn't know that once, a long time ago, Robert had studied music. That he'd won a scholarship to a conservatory. That he'd dreamed of concert halls. Asterisk gentle transition asterisk. Life had other plans. His wife got sick. Medical bills piled up. Dreams were set aside for what mattered more: keeping a roof over their heads, food on the table, hope alive in his daughter's eyes. Asterisk a moment of reflection asterisk. One Thursday evening in March, the executive floor was hosting a retirement party for the company's CFO. Robert had been asked to work late, to clean up after the event ended. As he waited in the janitorial closet on the same floor, he could hear laughter, the clinking of glasses, the hum of celebration. Around 9 o'clock, the party was winding down. Robert began his work, emptying trash bins along the periphery of the large conference room. Most guests had left, but a small group remained, including Marcus Webb, the CEO, a man in his early 60s with silver hair and a reputation for being demanding but fair. Asterisk natural pause asterisk. Someone had brought in a beautiful grand piano for the event. It sat in the corner, its black surface gleaming under the soft lights. One of the junior executives, a man named Tyler who'd had too much champagne, noticed Robert near the piano. "Hey," Tyler called out, his voice carrying that edge of mockery. "The janitor. Bet you've never touched a piano like this, have you?" Asterisk a breath asterisk. Robert looked up, said nothing. He'd learned long ago that silence was often the best response. But Tyler persisted, encouraged by a few uncomfortable chuckles from his colleagues. "Come on, give us a tune. Let's see what you've got." It was meant as a joke. A way to feel superior. To turn a hard-working man into an evening's entertainment. Asterisk warm, steady pacing asterisk. Marcus Webb, standing nearby, held up his hand. "Tyler, that's enough." His voice was quiet but firm. Robert met the CEO's eyes. And in that moment, something passed between them. A recognition, perhaps. A shared understanding of dignity. "It's all right," Robert said softly. He set down his trash bag and walked toward the piano. Asterisk a pause filled with anticipation asterisk. He sat on the bench, adjusted his position, and placed his fingers on the keys. The room grew still. Tyler's smirk began to fade. Asterisk let the moment breathe asterisk. Robert began to play Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major, Opus 9, No. 2. The music that emerged was nothing short of extraordinary. His fingers moved with the grace of someone who had loved these keys, who had memorized not just notes but the very soul of the composition. Each phrase was tender, deliberate, filled with years of life lived and losses endured. The melody seemed to hold everything Robert couldn't say in words: the ache of watching his wife fade, the pride of raising a daughter alone, the quiet sacrifice of dreams postponed but never quite forgotten. Asterisk emotional warmth asterisk. In the conference room, the remaining guests stood frozen. Tyler's face had gone pale, his earlier arrogance dissolved into shame. Others blinked back tears, caught off guard by the unexpected beauty filling the space. Marcus Webb moved closer, his own eyes glistening. He was thinking of his own father, a factory worker who'd played harmonica on their front porch on summer evenings. He was thinking of all the hidden talents in the world, the dreams deferred, the quiet nobility of people who do what must be done. Gentle pacing. When Robert finished, the silence that followed felt sacred. No one applauded immediately. They simply stood there, changed somehow by what they'd witnessed. Finally, Marcus spoke. "That was remarkable. Where did you learn to play like that?" A tender moment. Robert stood, modest as always. "Another lifetime, sir. I studied music once. But life had different plans, and I have no regrets. My daughter starts her nursing clinicals next month. That's the music that matters now." Warmth in the voice. Marcus nodded slowly, then extended his hand. "I'd like to talk with you tomorrow, Robert. In my office. Would 10 o'clock work?" A pause. The next morning, Robert arrived in his regular clothes, nervous but composed. Marcus offered him a position in the company's community outreach program, coordinating volunteer efforts and representing Hartwell at local events. Better pay. Day hours. Weekends with his daughter. But more than that, Marcus arranged for Robert to give a monthly piano concert in the building's lobby, open to employees and the public. A chance to share his gift again. Closing with warmth. Sometimes kindness arrives unexpectedly. Sometimes it takes the form of music that reveals our common humanity. And sometimes, a moment meant as a joke becomes a doorway to recognition, to dignity restored, to dreams that find their way back home. Final gentle pause. Robert Mitchell still plays that piano once a month. And when he does, people gather to listen, to remember that every person we meet carries hidden depths, untold stories, and a song waiting to be heard. Character count 5 847.